And here we are, folks. Another edition of the Michigan Football Breakdown, focused on the defense with that man they call Vance Bedford. Man, I normally have a blue light back there, Vance. It's so ugly. My light ain't even blue no more. It didn't turn white on me back there. It didn't turn white on me back there. They said, we can't even, blue light, Sam. I said, oh, man. It's about to get ugly up in here, Vance. That's how bad it is. They can't even give me a blue light. Brother Vance, I got to start out every show giving the Buckeyes credit. I hate to do it, but that's what you got to do. When you lose, you take it like a man. They told me you take an ass whooping. When you get an ass whooping, you take it just take it. So give the Buckeyes their credit. They came out. They outplayed them. They outcoached them. They got it done, Vance. And so I give the Buckeyes their credit this year. After 4 years of getting that ass whooped, they came out and whooped some ass. So I give them their credit.
You have to. I mean, they did a tremendous job in every phase of the game, offense, defense, and special teams. I mean, they flat dominated that game, and you got to give them credit for it. I mean, we couldn't go off the field on defense, and our offense couldn't stay on the field. And then we were messing around, and we don't punt the ball very well at times. But my dad said this a long time ago. When you kick field goals, you give another team a chance to come back and beat you because they feeling good about themselves. They took 4 points off the board. So we scored 9 points instead of 21 points. Just imagine we scored touchdowns instead of field goals. The outcome of that game could have been different. It could have gone to the fourth quarter we had talked about, and the game could have been totally different, but it didn't. Field goals kept giving them a chance to one score. It's 6-0. I just need one touchdown and be 7-6. So those little things that make a huge difference in a game that you play a team that's better, you need to score those touchdowns.
That is true, Vance, and didn't quite happen that way in that game, unfortunately. One of the reasons why, man, they were able to control that line of scrimmage, Vance. They were able to control that line of scrimmage. That quarterback, after starting the game shaky, he came out, he tried to go deep on him. Zeke Berry breaks it up deep.
Great play.
Suge, after dropping all those interceptions early in the year, came up and picked one, Vance. He picked one. I said, oh, my God, he caught it. He caught it, Vance.
Hey, Ryan Day said he was going to be aggressive. He did. He came out. He was throwing the ball all over the field and almost got themselves in trouble. Suge made a play. The safety was over the top. He was in great shape, made a nice play, good field position that led to another field goal. Great field position got to lead to touchdown, Sam. You need to score to play championship football or to beat a really good football team. Field goals will end up getting you beat every single time, and it did.
Yeah, secondary early in that game did their part, Vance. But you knew that those matchups, those receivers are eventually going to break loose. Eventually, they're going to break free and make some plays. Now, they wound up getting the touchdown on fourth down. I'm curious what you saw.
From my understanding, Sam, we were in cover 3. And cover 3 is not conventional cover 3. Well, this guy got a third, this guy got a third, so on and so forth. And Nick Saban made it popular for, 25 years ago. They used to call Rip and Ledge 3 match where a corner can walk up and press. Okay, on 4th down and 5, Sam, you cannot play off. I don't care what coverage you have. They were in cover 3. You cannot play off. You need to walk up there and take the air out of it. And that safety, and we have a diagram. I'm trying to figure out, you got Jeremiah Smith, the best receiver in the country, to the field, and the post safety on the hash to the boundary. What in the heck was he doing over there? And he almost made the play. Just imagine if he'd have been cheating to the field where he should have been, he probably would have intercepted the football. But again, these are the details we've been talking about the entire year that gets you beat against good football teams. His alignment was poor. There's no sense in it. It's 4th and 5. What are you trying to disguise? This is not the play. This is a different play, but it's a 20-yard game. Okay, so right now these guys, they playing quarters to the field.
Hold on. I'm trying to find your play, Van.
This is it right here. Now, it's 12-19 to go in the second quarter, Sam. It's 4th and 5. Michigan is up 6-3. Think about it. We're in the second quarter, so in the first quarter, we playing even. Okay, so it's 4th and 5, 12 personnel. I got the free safety. You can see his circle. I got, why is he here? You got Jeremiah Smith to the field. This guy's on the hash mark. Get your butt over the top. Get over there. Forget the disguise. It's 4th down and 5. They're not going to run the football on 4th and 5. They got Jeremiah Smith in there for a reason. And they run a double move. And they beat us on a double move. And people say, well, in cover 3, how you get beat? Well, you know what? You could be in cover 3 and still get beat on double move because you got to go make a play on 4th down and 5. But that doggone free safety, Sam, why in the heck is he on the hash mark? Get your butt in the middle of the field or get over the top of Jeremiah Smith. The one guy that could not beat you in this ball game is that guy. The score right now is 6-3 Michigan, 4th and 5, 12-19 to go in the second quarter. How is he allowed to beat you? Why is the corner not pressing? And why is the free safety not cheating over there, Sam? Somebody, I'm just baffled. When I saw that play, I'm screaming at my TV, why in the heck is he not pressing? Why is the free safety into the hash? Forget a disguise. Get your butt over there. Get over there and say, this is one place the ball is not going to go. And we didn't do that, Sam. We didn't do that. We gave that one up. We gave that one up. And I know I'm being extra critical, and I'm just going from my experiences of playing against great receivers. I wouldn't worry about no disguise. Certain situations, that guy wasn't going to beat us. I played against Randy Moss, in my opinion, the greatest talent to ever play the wide receiver in the National Football League. We played one free, one man. Guess what? He was double. The other guy to be you on your own, dog. But Randy Moss nothing to catch alone on. and Jeremiah Smith is in that same mold as a Julio Jones and a Randy Moss. That's the one guy in that situation on 4th and 5. He's not catching that ball, Sam. I don't understand what they were doing and why. And then on top of that, if you look to the left of the diagram, I got an F. That's the defensive end. That was Barham. I didn't know where he was going. He folded back inside like he was confused. I don't know what he was doing. And the next thing is they in 7-man protection. The U is protecting. The tailback's protecting. People saying, why come we didn't get close? The D-line played poorly. They in 7-man protection. 4 guys rushing on 7. That math don't add up, Sam. 7 men going to be 4 men almost 99% of the time. And then those guys were check and release. In other words, they were buying time for the routes to get downfield, and they were late checkdowns. So you're not going to get home. 4 guys rushing 7, 5 guys rushing 7, you shouldn't get home. So they came into the game protecting the quarterback. But if you go back to what we said last week, we talked about Ohio State. They will protect the quarterback with 7 guys, and then they would check and release and send them out late. So it's nothing new. There was no disguise as far as what they were doing. They've been doing this the entire season. And it's like, I don't understand if we didn't know that Jeremiah Smith was a good player on 4th and 5. They're not going to run the football. They're in shotgun with the ball back all set. Man, forget the disguise. Get your butt over the top of Jeremiah Smith. I mean, to me, there's no excuse. I'm sorry. There's no excuse whatsoever. None. I can't let that go. How in the world did that happen? Why are you not pressing? I don't care if it's cover 3. Why are you not pressing? To take away to disrupt the route sooner. Why is the safety not over the top of Jeremiah Smith? Another guy might catch the football in this situation, but not him. Not him. And on that play, Sam, there's a whole lot of stuff. There's not one thing showed up. There were several things showed up.
Yeah. That was a tough one. That gave them a lead they never relinquished.
Exactly. Sam, the score was 6-3. Michigan. 12 minutes to go in the second quarter. So in the first quarter, we lead the first quarter 6-3 winning, Sam. Think about that. Think about that. And to be honest, and our offense, to be honest, hadn't done a whole lot. And we holding on by a shoestring. We playing well enough to be up 6-3.
Let's go to another diagram, Vance. I'm just gonna throw a diagram up and you go to work.
Let's go
to this one.
Oh my goodness! Now you remember last week I talked about and too high when they go for a vertical, how either our Mike, Will, or Nickelback, they get too wide and we give us the vertical route. Remember, we got hit 2 weeks ago, and the week after that, the same route. Guess what? We are playing to that side, to the left side of the diagram, cover 2. The Y and the U go vertical. And I talked to you about this. You even called me back, Sam, on the phone after we talked. Why is the linebacker outside the tight end on the vertical route? And the safety's too wide. So this is not the first time this has happened. Sam, I've been talking about this for the last 6 weeks. It's not like we're just talking about this. We got nobody hold on to vertical by the Y going vertical and the safety too wide. He has no chance, Sam.
I did.
See, this is kind of a zone pressure when they cover to that side. So they're pushing the Mike linebacker. You can set the B to the field, he's rushing. So we bring him 5.
Yeah.
But I don't know where that backer, I got too wide. Where is he going? The safety's playing half field the way he played it. The safety got no chance. He's too wide, he got no chance. Okay. But that backer, where is he going, Sam? You got one backer, he's on the U already, Sam. So the inside back, I don't know where he's going.
Who was he? Was he? Yeah.
I don't know what they were trying to do on this defense, but whatever it was, the players didn't know either, because that's what showed up for a 25-yard game. For a 25-yard game, Sam. We've been talking about it. It's not brand new, Sam. It's not the first time this happened. This has happened several times this year. So I don't know what to tell you. I had to draw this up because we've been talking about it, and it happened again. It's got to be cleaned up.
You remember which backer it was?
Sam, I didn't write the numbers down. I'm just drawing diagrams. So I just want to talk about it because if this was the first time this had happened, I wouldn't make an issue out of it, but it isn't.
See,
we're talking about this for several weeks.
Because I think which backer it was might be relevant too. Because
Sam, no, baby.
I'm just from this standpoint, it has been an issue. But remember, you got some different guys that they've been trying to throw in there, not an Ernest Hausman.
Sam, do they sit in meetings?
They do.
Okay, no, I'm not going with that. As a position coach, if I put a guy out there, he's gonna know what to do. Why? Because he's getting the same messages over and over again, and those guys knew going back to the last week's game that they were playing. So no, I'm not buying that. I know that's been covered in the meeting, so I don't understand why that guy's too wide. I don't understand why the safety's that wide. I don't understand any of it, to be honest.
Because I remember asking you if the mic don't help when they.
That was in a 3-by-1 formation. It was a 3-by-1 formation. I said number 3 goes vertical. If he don't go vertical to help the safety out, that safety has no chance. Whether you're in half field or quarter technique, he has no chance whatsoever. This is a 2-by-2 formation, and I don't know where the guy's going. He has to wall that guy out of the seam. You never give up the seam in the secondary, because if you do, the DBs in the back end, they have no chance. They have none. I don't know what to tell you, Sam. I've been talking about this. It's not like this is the first time, Sam. You know that, right?
I was just laughing at Weebico. Coaches don't like
that. Sam, you know, hey, they don't. They don't. They can't, Sam. I mean, that's all I'm saying. The one you can't give up those throws like that. You gotta keep them out of your seam. Everything you do is keeping people out of the seam so your deep players have a chance to make a play. So who has no chance of making a play? I don't know exactly what coverage they were trying to do, but it wasn't a good looking coverage.
So who do you think this is mostly on? The back?
To me, I'm looking at the inside backer first.
Inside backer.
He gotta get the guy to the seam. Sam, he ran past the guy. That means that safety, he got no chance. If it was cover 3, then he got to hit the divider and play both of them because he had no help by that backer. He has no chance whatsoever. If he's a half field guy, he definitely has no chance. Just admit, Sam, they got some problems, bro. No matter what coverage they in, That inside backer, he wrong.
All right.
And, I'm not a political guy, so I could be totally wrong, but life goes on. But how I see it, that backer's wrong, and that safety's wrong.
All right. We got a super chat. Whoa! Charles came through. Charles came through with the super chat. Charles Kidderbrew, born and raised in Flint. That's what I'm talking about. Charles coming through with the super chat. Coming through with the super chat, Flint Town.
Golly.
What I'm talking about, Flint Town. Saying I'm now living in Houston after listening to Coach Bedford break down that 4 or 5 again. It has me upset again.
Oh, you got a lot of people upset, but life goes on. I had a great Thanksgiving. I hope everybody else had a great Thanksgiving. I had my son and granddaughter sit here for about 4 hours. We had a great time just sitting down and talking. So you know what? I feel blessed.
All right, another super chat. Go Jay. Hey, so he a Buckeye, but hey, you know what? Go Jay. I've been putting up Go Jay super chats because Go Jay. I said that if he came back and they won, I was gonna let him have his time, and I let him have his time. He just said, "Salute to my favorite Michigan man. More tissue money for Sam. Dollar Tree is waiting on you, Sam." He said, for I guess for my tears, apparently. I'm letting him have his pound of flesh, man.
You got to let him have it. He showed up every week. You got to respect the man for that.
I respect it. It. I'm paying up, letting him have his time. I pay up. I don't hide. Anyway, on to the next diagram, Vance. Here we go.
Okay, here we go again now. People keep asking us, Sam, about the pass rush and about the D-line. Sam, they're in 7-man protection. You with me? Okay, you got the 5 down guys. The tight end in the backfield is blocking. The back they faking to, he chips the defensive end, then he goes out late. You look at the route, so he starts to the left of exit. He's running route 12 yards deep. The slot is going around. He's breaking a 12 going to the corner, and you got a post outside. Okay, so now, because the back is so late and going out, because he's a check and release guy, he catches a 5-yard route and runs it for another 15. They gain 20 yards on the check down, Sam. 7-man protection. And again, we're blitzing the Mike linebacker. So we got a zone pressure on. You with me?
Mm-hmm.
We got Jeremiah Smith is to our left, so they playing cloud to him and playing some type of quarters or 1/3 the other way. So technically, when this back gets out, we got a problem. So the Nickelback goes wide, he never sees the back check and release. He's the guy that has to break up and make that play late. We're not stopping that in this particular zone pressure. But it should not be a 20-yard gain. It should be somewhere around 7-yard gain at max. But I'm making a point again about what they've been doing offensively the entire year. 7-man protection. Wick is trying to find different ways to get guys home. He's pushing the Mike linebacker, which is like he did the whole year. But again, it's 7-man protection. You're not getting home. Mm-hmm. If anybody's one-on-one, they need to win. Well, they're not winning. Mm-hmm. So they blocked us with 7 guys blocking 4. We got a problem. We're not going to get home. So the quarterback got time. So he's sitting back there like the Statue of Liberty, giving it a chance for the routes to break. If they cover it well, which right now we have everything covered deep, he throws a check down late. I'm watching our quarterback. He threw the check down right away. He never gave routes a chance to develop, Sam. He said, I'm just going to throw the check down. Well, wait a minute. They're rushing 3. You throwing the check down, you got all day. And that's the difference in the 2 quarterbacks. This young man has developed confidence in his O-line and the scheme. Our quarterback does not have the confidence to trust his O-line and the scheme, so he throws checkdowns right away instead of letting routes develop. The difference in the ball game is that quarterback play.
There was a touchdown in the second half. Woo.
That he wasn't throwing.
Yeah.
I know. He doesn't have the confidence right now to trust the system. He doesn't. This kid's a redshirt freshman. From his first game against the University of Texas, he was not very good, but he didn't turn the ball over. But he has progressed. He looks like he's been playing quarterback for 4 years, the way he plays the game. But they protect him, Sam.
Mm-hmm.
They are finding ways to protect him with 7-man protection. Guys check out late. So they giving him time. So he's not worried about getting hit. Well, early in the year, our quarterback was getting hit because the offensive line is young. And I don't think he ever got over that, having nightmares about our pass rush. And a young quarterback, fresh out of high school, 18 years old, he just don't get over those things, Sam. People don't realize that. Well, they're protecting well right now. Well, flashbacks come back. It's like PTSD. It don't go away. It could surface at any time.
Yeah, hopefully, the experience that he gained from over the course of the year will help him in his second year. Because we got to remember, even though Ohio State's quarterback Sayin is in his second year, he's 2 full years older than Bryce.
That's right.
As well. So he's in his second year and he's 2 years older. So there's something to be said for that. Let's get to your last diagram, Vance.
Oh, man. This is a touchdown. I'm really sick about this one. Again, I put 7-man. I've got 7-man protection, Sam.
Is this the bust in the second half?
Yes. This is third quarter. The score is now 9-17, 8:09 in the third quarter. Just think about this, Sam. The score is 9-17. That's all in the third quarter, Sam. 9-17. So we're not playing good on this side of football, but we're playing well enough on defense to keep us in the game for a while. But our offense is 3 plays and out all the time. Well, your defense is worn down. They're not good enough. But again, this is 7-man protection. They're doing this off a waggle look. So in other words, they're faking the back one way and the guard is pulling. They're just moving the pocket just a little bit from the center to the guard. But it's 7-man protection. Since only 3 guys going out, Sam. It's only 3 guys going out. So they got enough guys to block us. But now this is the problem I have. They are rolling to the field. That stakes is the half-field guy. The nickelback is trying to reroute the slot. Well, he misses him. The guy just bends right back inside for a touchdown. The nickel, again, I'm going back to you getting a vertical route. That safety has no chance if the nickelback is not going to carry that. Again, I don't run cover 2 every which way you can think of. Been around different coordinators, why you do certain things. That safety has no chance if the nickelback is not going to carry the vertical route. None. They're in 7-man protection, which means now they got time to throw deeper routes. The nickelback is wrong. The safety has no chance. The corner got to carry, in my opinion, the Z. He's just doing like an out and up to stretch the field. So the safety's trying to play wider to protect the corner because we don't really carry our corners. So he got a dilemma. Now, they're playing quarters to the backside, to the boundary. The quarterback is looking to the field. I know they're playing quarters. On paper, I know he's got to adjust and rob the curl, the 10-yard curl. The quarterback looking to the field, Sam. The quarterback is looking to the field. My quarters take it to the boundary. Why are you not breaking to the middle of the field on the quarterback look? There's some DB coaches say you play your side, not play your side. Me personally, as a zone coach, I didn't do that. And I didn't say my right was the right way. If that quarterback is looking, your butt better be breaking to where he's looking. There's some other coaches believe you play your side and you play my side, and that's it. I came in a different era. In zone football, quarterback look, we all break. Game has changed. I'm outdated. I get that. But the nickelback is a major problem.
I think they're looking at your this is called a little bit educated speculation. I think they're looking at their backside safety on this play and saying, where were you?
Sam, but this is not the first time this happened, Sam. This is not the first time the backside safety's done that.
Yeah, I understand. You're right.
That's the whole problem. This is not the first time this has happened. And again, it goes back to there's some DB coaches believe one guy, you play your side and you play my side. And I'm one of those guys. So
right. Yeah, I'm just saying, I'm saying they with you on that. I'm saying they're with you on that. They agree with you.
You know what, Sam? It's like being on the Titanic. And the Titanic going down, and the brother said, man, You're right about this ship. I'm with you. Hell, we both drowning. It's too late right now. Sam, we both drowning.
I'm saying they with you on that. So you either have to coach that technique better or find somebody who could play it better. It's one of the two.
Well, that particular guy, it's been different guys in that situation done that. I didn't put down numbers because it didn't matter to me because several guys have done that. So technically, when I look at that, it's been taught that way, and that's why I made the point. There's some DB coaches who teach it that way. That each guy play their side and leave it that way. Well, I came up in a different era in zone football, quarterback look, we all break it. We're not breaking to a guy in that area. We breaking to where the quarterback looking because we need numbers. And so I came from a different era, and I've never forgotten that. And so it's a philosophy thing that I believe in. And I'm not saying it's right. It's something I believe in because I want full rotation on my secondary. The ball's in the air. I want all guys breaking to the football, not breaking away from the football. So if somebody falls down, I might get a break because a guy is breaking to the football. He might make a play, give us a place to stand.
Yeah, I'll find out what the I'll try to get exactly what the call was on. I just remember hearing what was this a bust? Who was the bust on? I just remember it was backside safety. So
but that's great. But Sam, the biggest bust is a nickelback. You didn't say nothing about the nickelback there, Sam. You can talk about the backside safety. What's the nickelback doing? I'm going back to what I used to say. Sam, he killing grass out there. You and I could put on that uniform, do the same thing we just did. He killing grass, Sam. Now, as I changed my philosophy, I would tell a guy, find some work. What that means right now, nickelback, you're going to carry that guy. That's where your work is. So I changed that. I used to say, you killing grass to find some work. Man, go find some work. Carry that guy. Sam, that guy, that slot lined up 3 yards inside the hash. To avoid contact, they're trying to collision the guy to avoid him. He went outside the hash and came back to the middle of the field. When a guy is avoiding you that much, well, let him go. He's rerouted. Go straight back. Guess what he's going to do, Sam? By angles, he's going to come right back to you. Football's a game of angles. When you went to reroute him on that wide release, you lost your angle, which means right now you're beaten.
Yes, sir.
Yes, that broke our back right there, Sam.
I hear you. Yeah, that's the game. That was the game.
It's over with.
It was over with right there.
7-man protection again. Let Rouse get down the field.
Yeah, that was 2 scores. Ooh. That was 2 scores right there. Once it's 2 scores, you're not coming back.
And we said that. Yeah. We said it had to be close in the fourth quarter. It wasn't to have a chance.
Yeah. Yeah. Once it's 2 scores, say goodnight. Go Jay gets a chance to come over here and talk his junk. And so that's why we got to let him do his thing. Let Go Jay do his thing today. And all the other Buckeyes have their pound of flesh this year, unfortunately. So that's how it went, Vance. They kept their quarterback clean. They had a 20-play drive in the second half. That's when now they leaning on you. They able to run the football in the second half of the game. And
but Sam, you and I talked about this. I said this offense is a lot like USC. They're going to shift, they're going to motion, but everything is to where the sticks. If it's 3rd down and 5, guess where all the receivers are going? To the sticks. It's like we had no idea they were doing that. We didn't take any of that away. Either play man, which you're not going to do because of the 2 receivers, or play cover 2. And cover 2, your corners can walk up and press and disrupt routes. It's like we had no idea that was happening. And I started to draw this other diagram, but then I forgot which touchdown it was. They were on the 3-yard line. They were in 3-by-1 formation. I think Jeremiah Smith was really wide, so they playing a combination coverage. But they got a tandem split to the slot. That nickelback and that safety had no chance. They ran double slant. He had no chance. They had to leave Jeremiah Smith by himself and run 3-on-2. Is the only chance they had. So they schemed us up as far as what we were doing in the run game and the pass game. And Wink was trying to bring pressure, bringing backers like he's always done. But again, you got a backer rushing a guard in the pass game. He just got hammered. It's just that simple. I mean, he was doing everything he could, but he was trying to eliminate big plays. But sometimes you got to roll the dice. Last year, you had them two big hustlers inside. You do whatever you want to do. This year, we didn't. We got some solid football players. They're not nothing special. They solid. You know, we've all over the past probably 4 years, Sam. You got to go back to Hayden and you got and Ajabo, the defensive ends. Then you had Big Mike come along, and then you had the two. Mason Graham was already playing, doing well. So those guys always had 4 guys up front. 2 of them were first round picks. Think about it, almost every year. I don't see that anywhere this year. I see a bunch of solid football players, and that showed versus Ohio State.
Mm-hmm. No doubt, it did. So I've been tipping my cap. There's definitely a gap that you got to continue to close in recruiting and the portal and with development. Recruiting, portal, development, for sure. They did that leading up to the championship. There was a dip. Now you got to build it back up with recruiting, scouting, and coaching. That's the formula. And so,
Sam, do you realize that Sharon's record, I think, is identical to Lloyd's Carter record his first 2 years? 16-8. Think about that. And then, of course, his third year, we won a national championship in '97. But look who was on that team. You go to the offensive line, you got Steve Hutchinson was on that team, NFL Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
You got Jeff Backus, first-round pick. John Jansen, second-round pick. I'm talking about the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
That's to the recruiting and the development of a team that went 8-4 to 12-0. It takes time, but it's having the right people in place. Right now, you have the quarterback that's like those guys we had back then. Marsh, your receiver, is like those guys back then.
Mm-hmm.
You played a bunch of freshman offensive linemen that should be ready to roll, next year. So there's some things on offense that I see that reminds me of that group back that Lloyd Carr had. On defense now, we got some issues.
Mm-hmm.
So we play some young guys, but we don't have guys that defense back then was a senior defense in '97.
Yeah. I see guys in the secondary that I feel like are gonna be like that, Vance. I feel like, it's those young DBs that Lamar has, that he's recruited. We didn't see Shamari Earls as much because he got hurt late in the season. He had a little illness that kept him out of these last few games. So he wasn't out there. But you got some talent in the defensive backfield that I feel like is, especially even next year, you really gonna start to see coming. The D line, is it gonna be ready? Is it gonna be physically mature enough to get out there and be ready to go? Or are they gonna have to hit the portal to augment that to be at a championship level? Because I could see it in the secondary. I could see it on the offensive line. But defensive line wise, Vance, receiver, I think they're gonna have to hit the portal and they're gonna have to hit it hard, bro, in order to meet where they are everywhere else. In my opinion, I don't know what you think.
And I heard you mention this last week about the portal at the University of Michigan. Academically, how things are structured, there's certain guys you cannot recruit.
That's true.
Ohio State can.
It's true.
It makes a huge difference. So that people don't understand those issues. But that's part of when you go to a place like Michigan or Northwestern, academically, it keeps certain kids from being able to recruit certain kids.
That's true.
But you're right, you got to go find a receiver. My question to you on defense, Sam, is this. Are the kids we're recruiting, do they fit Wink's system? So it's great to say I'm going to recruit Joe and I'm recruiting Bob over here, but do Bob and Joe fit what Wink is doing defensively? I've been talking about this the whole year. Wink, we push backers here and there. That means that the front got to move. We hadn't been a very good movement team this year. A lot of times we got guys angling, they never get to that gap. And all of a sudden the ball creases us. People say, well, the linebacker doesn't fit here, but the linebacker just blitz. This three technique supposed to be in this gap. He isn't. So when you look at guys, you got to look at guys to fit the system that each coordinator is running.
Right. So, it's interesting. This is a great discussion, Vance. I feel like at the court, you gotta convince Suge to come back. You got to pay him to come back. See, Suge had the kind of game where he's kind of like, Asian is going to be like, hey, 3rd, 4th round pick. I bet you they're going to be saying. I think you pay Suge to say, you can come back, Suge, and I bet you can play your way into the 1st, 2nd round pick. And you pay him to come back and do that. And do you have another man corner on the roster? I think Shamari Earls could potentially be that. I think Jaden Sanders could potentially be that. I think that you need to be prepared to go to the portal to pay for another man corner too. Because I think if you're the University of Michigan, you need 4 corners that you think are like that. I mean, 4 bona fide, big time. I could go and play corner against any receiver. You got 4 guys that you think can do that. That's what I think you need at the University of Michigan. 4 of them. 4. That would free you up to now play Zeke as a nickel safety. And now you got a safety, or a nickel safety in Zeke who has experience playing. Now you got a safety who can cover, Vance.
Yeah.
You can put him back. I mean, now look at you. Your versatility at that spot. You remember when Zeke first played nickel? And we were like, oh my God. You remember he was in the USC game?
Yeah.
It was zero coverage, and it was like really zero coverage. Because I'm not making fun of Zeke, but like nobody covered the slot. It was like, oh man. But now can you imagine Zeke at nickel?
He gives his depth to make right. Yeah.
He'd be lights out. Or at safety, he'd be lights out. Can you imagine Zeke, Berry, and TJ Metcalf as your
so Metcalf coming back?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I didn't know what age he was. Okay. Now you're right about it. I like that. I like those 2 guys back there. I think it gives some versatility. But you're right. If he can go find you at least one good corner out there, the transfer portal, that's great, because it's tough to play with freshmen. I mean, they can play out there, but they are still high schoolers. And what I mean by that, they have no football awareness as far as how the game is going to be played, the speed of the game, how to pattern read routes. If 2 goes inside, is one going to follow him? Things of that nature. It's tough for young kids, true freshmen, to get out there and do this kind of things. So you need a veteran guy. You're right about that, to get out there and knock guys down. Because what Wink likes to do, he likes to pressure. So because of the concerns for the secondary this year, Wink got away from doing the things that he likes to do to a certain degree. But at the same time, it played dividends where we won some games because he got away from that. So he has to find a happy median as far as when I run my zero pressures, when I run man, he has to make some adjustments to the college game himself.
Right. And see, then you still got Jordan Young, who played. You got Jordan Young, you got Mason Curtis, you got now all of these guys. It made for an interesting spring because competition it would be really, really thick. And everybody, this is the way college football works. Everybody's not gonna stay. I know that. Coaches know that. It'd be like survival of the fittest. And the way they look at the depth chart and the guys who figure I'm not second string, they say, hey, I'm a coach. Hey man, I don't like the way this look. I'm gonna have to hit the port. And I understand that. So I don't know how it would go. I don't want to sit here and project. I think I know how it would look at the top, but I don't really know. You would let it play out. You would let the competition determine how it shook, and know coming out of that, man, you got some ballers coming out of that, and feel really good that you got some experienced, talented guys coming out of spring ball on the back end. I would feel really good about that. I think you would be in good shape. Does Jimmy Rother come back? It's gonna be interesting with Jimmy because this is the first time Jimmy has been mostly healthy during the season, but he got a little banged up at the end of the year. So the talk with Jimmy is going to be you're going to have to convince him, I think, to come back another year because I think his mindset will probably be, man, I done been banged up. I'm probably going to go to this league because I've been so hurt during my college career. I'm ready to go to the league. So that'll probably be the conversation there. So, but if you can get Jimmy Rother back, then you got Jimmy and you got Cole back along with Troy Bowles as your and some veterans at linebacker to complement the young athletic guys at the position. I'm feeling pretty good about my linebackers.
I, I think BJ could help you with that. We go to Texas. We got a linebacker, I forgot his name, that he had a chance to come out. We convinced him to come back. He stayed healthy that year, was a third-round pick. He just retired this past year. I think he had 10 years in the league. But we convinced him to come back, and he had a great senior year, stayed healthy for the first time in his career, kid out of Ohio, one of the top linebackers in the country that Mac Brown had recruited. He was hurt for 3 years. He was healthy that fourth year. We convinced him to come back for that fourth year, third-round pick, 10 years in the league. I mean, so it's BJ's been through that, so he could have that conversation that he could explain that situation for that guy, how it panned out for him. There's no guarantees about injury. We all know that.
Yeah.
I mean, so if you've been injured, you know it can happen. You can step off a curve and things can happen badly for you. So that's a conversation. As far as the NFL, I think for Jimmy, it'd be great if he come back another year, stayed healthy. But I can understand his dilemma about being injured too.
Yeah.
Totally get that. I've been there, done that, so I understand that.
Yeah, because he been banged up his whole career, and
Yeah.
then right here at the end, because he was banged up in the. I mean, he wasn't all the way back for that Ohio State game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be an interesting thing, and it adds to, do you have to go get another backer in the portal? But it all lends to, now you get to where your real portal needs are. That defensive line, Vance, I just don't know. I mean, you probably need 2 defensive tackles and an edge in the portal.
Yeah.
That's where the real needs are. I'm not saying that you don't have talent there on the roster, but it's all inexperienced talent. I mean, you got Etta, he's played. You've got a couple of guys, Cam Brandt, he's played. You got some guys up. Trey Pierce, I like Trey Pierce. He's played, but you don't have guys who have really kind of established themselves as playmakers yet. And you feel like you got to go get you some dudes.
You do. You need to go. You got to find you at least one tackle and one defensive end. You don't have a choice. You need to find those guys. And the cost for those positions right now is getting high right now with so many jobs, coaching changes, and people just filling up. They all doing the same thing. So everybody's going to overpay for average football players right now. And that's the problem you're dealing with because there's so many new head coaches out there.
Yeah, I think you gotta be prepared for your defensive line and receiver, especially, to spend top dollar for those 2 positions. And then if you got some left over, maybe you go get a corner, maybe you go get a linebacker, but defensive tackle, edge, and receiver, man, you gotta.
It's some teams out there that have new head coaches. I'm looking at at Arkansas and Oklahoma State. They're gonna have at least one or two of those guys. They got new head coaches, so kids trying to see if they're gonna stay or not. I'll be looking at those players on defense from those two schools because they have athletes, and you might better get in there and steal you one sooner than later. But you got to be on top. Your general manager should be on top of those things already. Do they have a guy that can transfer? So, boom, let me see if I can reach out to him. The schools like that right now, you can go find you a guy.
Vance, I know people itching to get a few questions in. Before we get to that, give me your grades for this game. Give me the grades. And, folks, if you have questions for Vance, start lining them up right now. Vance, give me your grades.
We had a 6-play goal line by the defense that held them to 3 points. So I'm giving D-line a C because, we asked them to do things that was impossible. Linebackers, because of the pass game, they're getting a D. And the secondary, because of the pass game, not understanding what's happening to them, they also get a D. I mean, it just – we got dominated, Sam. It's 3rd down and 5. We know they're going to run routes to the sticks, but it's like the players didn't know. And so I have an issue with that. That's why I'm grading them so low. And then the vertical routes twice on vertical routes. It's not the first time it's happened. It's like they had no idea. How can you continue to make the same mistakes over and over? Lucky I ain't give them an F, Sam.
Oh, man. Yeah, I hear you. That was a tough one. Hey, Lama Brian says, Brian Arakpo, the Texas linebacker who just retired, Vance?
That's not the one I'm talking about, but he retired a year ago.
Okay.
This other kid had to come out in 2015. He played 14, got drafted in 2015. He's from Ohio. He's out there, might have been the top linebacker in the country that year.
Okay.
So that means he came out of college, out of high school, 2011 or 12. Forgotten his name.
All right. If you have questions for Vance, put them in the chat. Super chats go to the top. I just got to put Charles Kennebrew up again. Charles Kennebrew up again. I feel like I know you, Charles. Feel like that name sound familiar. He said born and raised in Flint, living in Houston now, living in H-Town. My man Flim lived down in H-Town.
Yes, he does. Lives in Katy.
Yeah. Just tell Flim I said what's up. Flim. But anyway, just wanted to send him a shout out. But let's go to another super chat. 89 Dr. Funk said, I just want to say thanks to Vance and Sam for the breakdowns. When Michigan kicked those 2 to 3 field goals, I said we lost because in a game like that, you don't win kicking field goals. Ohio State QB had 30 seconds. He had 30 seconds to throw all game. That's about right, Vance. He seemed like he did have all day to throw.
7-man protection works every time.
Yeah, man. Another super chat from Men Are Waking Up says, Coach V, they appreciate the super chat. Says, is there a reason Wink didn't twist and stunt in the game?
I don't know that. Looking throughout the year, we have not done a lot of that. And I would imagine our guys are not great stunt guys. Twist guys. Because that's a technique you have to work on quite a bit in practice. And maybe our guys just not those type of guys. I don't have an answer for that. I haven't been to their practices. So it's hard to say, but that's the only thing I can see because when we angling, sometimes we don't move very well. So when you start twisting guys, moving them feet are very important.
This was an interesting one, Vance. Want to bring this up. We don't know all the details here, so I want to point this out. Somebody said is Houseman still on the team? Is he playing in a bowl game? Don't know what the future holds as far as the team is concerned. They made the decision to hold him out. Didn't play in the game. They're obviously supporting him and his what he's working through. This is you consider they didn't have that's a captain they didn't have out there. You also didn't have Max out there, so you down talented guys, you down leadership on the team as well. And this was a dude who balled out against Ohio State last year, yeah. Vance, and you see the difference I love Cole, and Cole is going to be an outstanding player. But you saw the difference in knockback in this game too, with Earn not in there. Like, there's a difference in physical stature in the game when Earn's not in there. So that was a loss. His inability to be on the field for them in this game. But you also understand why they held him out of this game too. Like, you can't, you want to support him in what he's doing, but you also, you gotta you gotta be thinking about his well-being, and you got to be thinking about the team as well when you got to hold a guy out.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him. I wish that young man the best, whatever's going on with him. Even if he would have played, Sam, the game would have still been the same.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't have made any difference whether he was out there or not. That's just how dominant Ohio State was in that ball game. I mean, so he might have brought some enthusiasm, some energy to it, but the plays that hit Michigan's defense, he would not have been involved in most of them.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have made a difference. But I do wish that young man the best, or whatever's going on in his life. I do wish him the best.
All right, let's go to some more questions for Vance. Vance, I know you're not wanting to sugarcoat anything. Are the issues that have been present all season on the DC or the position coaches for not teaching the correct technique?
I'm giving a perspective of things that I believe in and things that I see. And as I watch the teams throughout the year and talking about too high, whether it be a nickelback or linebacker has to carry vertical seams, it appears that they don't carry guys. And I could be wrong. So that'll be a philosophy on the DC, and the position coach is going, whatever his philosophy is, he got to teach what the DC wants him to teach. So I don't have an answer for that. I really don't. I mean, but I'm a DB coach. So as a defensive coordinator, the first thing I did, I'm taking away vertical seams. Mm-hmm. Now, I work with Charlie Strong with certain things I couldn't do because Charlie had a certain philosophy as a head coach that he wanted me to do as a D coordinator. But at the same time, when it came to the pass game, if I'm in too high, there's certain things I'm not going to give up. I don't care who he was. But I believed in, I convinced him I can't get this up. We do, we're not going anyhow.
So in that scenario we talking about is trips, and I'm not, and I don't have my mic carrying the vertical. Is that philosophy, or is that on the position coach what I'm teaching? What is that?
It looks like it's part of the philosophy that they instilled, because the nickelback don't carry, the linebacker doesn't carry. So that's two positions that do not carry. So if that's the case, then that comes back to the philosophy of the coordinator. Because I don't see the nickelback carrying either. And the linebacker don't carry. So it's got to be something with, I don't know whether it's Wink, what he believes in, or as they come together as a defensive staff and they talk about what they believe in. I don't know. But every place I've always been as a DB coach, when I first started coaching, we always carried. Every coordinator I worked for, we got to carry this route. Otherwise, we're not going to stop this route. And so that's always been a belief of mine. So I always pushed the envelope with that. So I've been able to do those things. When I became a coordinator, it became even easier. I worked with this one guy, Sam, and he was a safeties coach. I'm coaching corners. Well, we playing too high. This guy never came off the hash. I'm like, coach. So I taught my corners, we sitting at 8 yards deep, playing the cloud technique. I said, two vertical. I said, the flat from the line of scrimmage to the goal line. We took away 4 vertical all year except for one time. People thought we played quarters, Sam. We never played snap of quarters, because what my safeties coach was teaching, I adjusted my teaching to fit so we don't give up big plays. So as a position coach, I adjusted what I was doing to make sure it worked so we could have success on the football field, and nobody knew it but me.
I hear you. Okay. All right. Here's another one. I don't know how to pronounce this one, so we just call you IG. In your opinion, Vance, was the lack of pressure a scheme issue, talent issue, a combination of both? Does Wink not have the ability to have his players understand the scheme?
You have about 3 questions in there. In this particular ball game, again, they had 7-man protection. Only way you beat 7-man protection if you bring in 7 guys. That means you in zero coverage. Now, do you want to be in zero coverage with Jeremiah Smith out there? So that was part of the issue. So talent-wise, there's no doubt we got to improve some things. But again, when you're rushing 4 on 7, you're not going to get home. When you're rushing 5 on 7, it's a good chance you're not going to get home. And is anyone in the front 4 or 5 I consider special players or first-round talent? Bonham might be close, but the way he's played the last half of the season, he's a 3rd-round pick. Okay. So it wasn't scheme. It's they went to that game, Ohio State, to protect their quarterback, and they did a masterful job of doing that.
Okay. Oh, I get it. I go by Geo. That's how you say it. I go by Geo.
Okay.
I got it. Appreciate it. You breaking that up. Weeby Co says, I remember watching the 23 defense. Mikey, Page, and Moore were always talking before the snap. I don't see a lot of on-field communication. Seems like the players seem lost regarding down and distance. Vance, do you see that?
We've talked about that before, about the lack of communication between the players in the back end, and that comment he made is exactly right. I mean, little Mikey was talking all the time. I mean, they be pointing things out, communicating. I mean, I didn't see a bunch of that this year. And, we've had injuries, so you're rotating different guys in, but the guys who really control that a lot of times are your safeties. And again, you had injuries there, and guys rotating in and out, and you playing too deep. I mean, I think they normally rotate the second team in, I think, after the 3rd series, I believe. It's either the 3rd series or the 4th series. They rotate a whole new secondary in there. I mean, so communication issue, to me, I think that's a concern moving forward. And those are some things that definitely need to be improved upon.
All right. It's kill yourself. I know how to read that one. He said, should this defense be working more seamlessly or effortlessly after so long in this type of system? Would a new scheme be a big setback if a different defensive coordinator takes over?
Yes, it is. You got a new playbook. You got new terminology. That sets you back quite a bit. Then you have your coaches have to adjust to the new scheme. I mean, so you got to, again, we have enough quality players in there to keep moving forward, to keep getting better. The coaching staff, they don't work now 2 years together. They're going to be better together. And they continue to look at what happened in a good way and what didn't happen in a good way and say, you know what, that's adjust here and adjust there. And that's what the offseason is all about, to look at those type of things. See what other people are doing. How can we make things better for our players so we aren't hurt in this situation next season? So now I like your staff. I just think there's some things that need to be talked about, looked at, and keep moving forward in a positive direction.
All right. Lowry71 says, Vance, did you see a major glaring issue that the team should focus on in the offseason and or bowl practices?
Now, I got to talk a little bit about the offense. I'm trying to get my quarterback to throw the ball down the football field, so I'm going to protect him. I'm going to watch what Ohio State did to us. They protected their quarterback, so he felt confident enough in the pocket to throw it downfield. Then on defense, our kids got to understand when you're blitzing, you're not blitzing to get blocked. You're blitzing to cause havoc and to make a play. Our guys blitz, they run right down the middle. Yeah. They don't know where the edge is. I mean, they go block themselves. I should tell guys, I said, imagine this. You're blitzing. Imagine you're running back. And you're on the 5-yard line. You got all this wide field. Are you going to run right into this guy so he can tackle you? Or you going to give him a little shake, rattle, and roll, get him off balance, get in the end zone? I said, blitzing the same way. I said, give him a little head and shoulder fake, get him off balance, and use your quickness to rip and dip to go make a play. We run right down the middle of people. So those are some things I think that you can work on to get better at blitzing.
Yeah, man. That is a terrific. Yes. I just, yeah.
Just like they got Velcro. It's like we got Velcro when we blitz sometimes. That's why Barham playing linebacker, he didn't have Velcro. He understood get on the edge. The other guys, they didn't understand that.
Yeah, that is a great point, Vance. Was that did you work on blitz technique? Was that something?
When I was in secondary, I did. We used to bring out corners and safeties, and I was in the National Football League. I had a guy was blitzing. I said, I said, you play running back in college, son. I said, you got a guy that's 6'3", 250 pounds, and you 5'10", 180 pounds. And when you're running back, did you just run right over him? I said, nah, coach. I gave him a move, got him off balance. Now I use my quickness. I said, well, when you blitz, guess what? It's the same thing. And so we talked about those things, and so we would work on blitz technique. We put a dummy out there, and we put a body out there, and just let them step this way or that way to teach the guys how to get on the edge and not run right down the middle and block yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is well. All right, so Vance, I asked Borges this. Give me your bowl sort of breakdown, your practice breakdown as far as bowl prep is concerned, what you're working on before you get into the opponent prep. So what are you working on? What are you focused on? And then off season, give me your forecast and
it's
preparation.
all to me. It's all fundamentals. I mean, you always work on tackling. You know, tackling is something you cannot afford not to work on. But whether I'm a D line, I'm going back to the basic fundamentals. I'm a alignment and assignment, proper hand placement, proper step. Linebackers, what's your key? For the secondary, for a corner, if I'm playing cloud technique, how you do it. For a half field safety, I play a half field safety. Now, the next thing is, how do I clean up in a pass game, taking seams away? That has to be something, in my opinion, needs to be looked at. So I'm working on the basic fundamentals. I'm not worried about the opponent. I'm worried about teaching the basic fundamentals of how we do things. As we became better as a football team, we didn't talk about the opponent. We talked about us. Mm-hmm. What part of our philosophy was in the first half of the season, we would say, play like a champion. By that ninth game of the year, we say, play like us. We had instilled in their minds that they were already champions because we talked about it. Now we say, play like us. And the kids never knew we made that change. They're like, let's go do it. But I'm into the fundamentals. At every position, it's not about what the opponent is going to do. It's about how do I teach the fundamentals. Defensive line, as much as you move, how can we not move to our gap when we move as much as we do? And we've been talking about this since game one. The guys not getting to their gap. So I'm cleaning that up. I understand Winker's going to call. He's going to push a linebacker. That means that a defensive lineman got to move to an extra gap. I'm working a technique on how do you do that. And I work with some good defensive line coaches, and I saw them work on those fundamentals. So I'm a fundamental guy, and at every position, we're going back to the basics. I'm not worried about who we playing, scheme. I'm worried about the fundamentals, and the same thing in all season and spring practice. We have to get better at the things that we're doing, no matter what defense we're playing, what scheme we're playing.
Someone asked real quick before we go. They said, side question, Sam Vance, thoughts on Michigan State hiring Pat Fitzgerald and Penn State going after the BYU coach? What do you think?
I like Pat at Michigan State. And what he did at Northwestern, couldn't get kids in school. Now he's going to Michigan State. I mean, they play tough, hard-nosed football. Oh, my goodness. He's going to recruit well there. And the guy I think that's a great hire. The guy from BYU going to Penn State has me confused. Now, if the guy from BYU is Mormon, how is that going to transfer and translate to Penn State? They have quite a few Samoans at BYU. I don't know if that's in recruiting. How is that going to translate going to Penn State? So the guy's a heck of a football coach, excellent football coach. All I can say, I got to wait to see how that translates. But I think Pat Fitzgerald is going to be lights out at Michigan State. I think that's an outstanding hire.
All I know is Pat Fitzgerald's agent owed me some money. Michigan State owes me a consultant's fee. I said 2 to 3 months ago, Pat Fitzgerald to Michigan State would be a terrific hire.
Yeah.
After I saw like 4 games in the Michigan State season, said they need to get rid of Jonathan Smith. And I'm not, I don't want to see good things happen to Michigan State, but I said I don't want to see Michigan State down this bad. Like, come on, man. I mean, I got to see him put up a fight. Got to see him, got to see him with a pulse. You don't want to see them looking like a dead dog. Like, come on, man.
I got to throw some dirt on one guy. Lane Kiffin right now, his name's out there. He's going to make a lot of money. I don't have an issue with Lane leaving. I don't. I'm a football coach, player. I don't have an issue with it. The issue I have, if it's true or not, and you might know more than me, when he told the offensive staff when they didn't get the job, I got a plane for you. If you don't get on it, you don't have a job here. But yet he was trying to stay and coach there. So I don't have an issue with him leaving. But making that comment to his assistant coaches, that means he threw dirt on the players that had Ole Miss. And I have an issue with that. That tells me a lot of things about him as a person, because he said, screw you kids, I couldn't stay the place, so I'm taking my ball and go home. All you guys come with me right now, but don't come at all. That's the only issue I have with Lane. Leaving? No. I knew he was going to leave. $14, $15 million? Okay, fine. But you did your assistant coaches, and there was football players that way, Lane. That was as dirty as you can get. That's as low as you can go.
So he said, leave now or you don't have a job?
He just went out. I read that online. I don't know if it's true or not. He said, I got a plane waiting for you. If you get on it, you got a job. If you don't, you don't have a job here. So the entire offensive staff, except I think Joe Judge, was the only guy that stayed.
Well, I'm surprised that Ole Miss gave them an option, because they didn't give Lane an option. And I would think that the same standard would apply, because who's to say that they wouldn't be there recruiting the guys? Because that's what they told Lane.
But normally for an assistant coach, they treat him different as a head coach. It really is. See, people always talk about head coaches and money they make. Assistant coach is not the same. It's like when I was at Florida, I was going to go to Louisville, right? So I stayed back and recruited to Florida until they could hire a coach, even though I know I was going to Louisville. So I was in the school in Miami, and all the kids there knew me. So the coach from Louisville was there. And I said, man, you guys can't talk to me. I'm not recruiting you from Florida. I'm recruiting from Florida. You got to go talk to the guy from Louisville. So, I get how that works sometimes, Sam, but they'll let an assistant coach stay, but a head coach is different. Like the guy from Tulane right now, if they get in the college football playoff, the University of Florida already said, you can stay there and coach. He said that already. And the head coach of Tulane and the AD at Tulane said, if he could get in the playoffs, we'd love him to stay. Each situation is different. The SEC is different because of who you have to recruit, because signing dates went tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of different things, but if Lane did that to the assistant coaches, I struggle with that. Then I've lost a lot of respect for him. I don't know him. I never met him. But when I read that, I'm like, you can't get no lower than that.
I guess I find it, his hustle is hilarious to me.
He got one now. He got a good hustle.
He got a hell of a hustle, because he has never won a thing. I mean, I guess unless you count FIU, but the dude has coached now LSU, Ole Miss, Tennessee, USC. Who am I missing? Ole Miss,
Raiders.
USC, the Raiders. And Vance, he hasn't won anything. I mean, nothing. How do you not win anything and coach all those places?
That's why I went to LSU, Sam, because they got, in the last 20 years, they got 3 national championships.
But understand what I'm saying, Vance.
I agree.
How do you get all these jobs and you never won?
Perception,
you don't have a championship to your name.
Perception is reality. Perception is that he's the offensive genius and a great recruiter. That's perception out there. And that in itself, at a place at LSU with the facilities, the money, the state of Louisiana has great recruiting. LSU has always gone on to East Texas up to Houston to recruit. They figure he can get the players, because if Ogeron could go win a championship there, they figure, well, Lane a lot better than Ogeron. Okay, you look at all the guys, Les Miles can win one. Well, he's a better offensive guy than Les Miles. So they looking at all of that and say, we got a guy that's better than those guys. They didn't win anything prior to coming out either, but they won a championship. They figure, well, Lane's better than those guys, so Lane can win. Perception, that's all that matters. Strictly perception.
That is crazy, man.
Well, like I say, if he did that to his assistant coaches, then he's a dirtbag. I'm sorry. I have a hard time with that. And you threaten guys that way. I went through that situation one time, and I left. The guy told me, you go interview, you don't have a job here. I said, okay. Went and talked to my wife, and she's a strong Christian lady, and she said, pray about it, and I went and interviewed and left. The rest is history. Life went on. Because I know the guy was no good. To threaten you that way,
Some
that's
dude,
selfish.
some dudes touched by the football angels, man. He one of them. So
Yeah,
when you like that, when you blessed like that, man, you think you can treat people any kind of way.
that's about
That's
right.
why.
I
That's
work with one guy who worked with Lane Kiffin. He said, Vance, say Lane is a genius. That's what a guy told me. He said Lane Kiffin is an offensive genius. And he worked with the guy for a couple of years. Worked with him, I think, at USC. Had a lot of respect for Lane Kiffin. I don't know Lane. I really don't. And never met the guy.
well, like I said, Vance, when you get things like that, when you don't have to win anything, and you get jobs like that, you think you can treat people any kind of way. You could do what you want to do to anybody. That's no to me. I'm not surprised.
But
I'm not
think
surprised
about,
by that story.
I saw this today. Think about this. The state of Louisiana financially, the state of Louisiana, one of the poorest states in the United States. Educationally, they one of the lowest as far as education. They just paid one coach $50 million because they fired him. And then you pay the assistant coach and everybody else. So that's probably going to come to $60 million. You're going to pay Lane $90 million. Think about that. For a state that has all those financial problems, how can a college spend that kind of money? That makes no sense.
Priorities, man.
Oh, my
Priorities.
goodness. That's kind of sad if you think about it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have my thoughts, but it's not appropriate to mention them on this podcast. So we shall leave them in my head and stop right here, right now, and end right here and tell you all that we will revisit you when it's bowl time, which we expect will be the Citrus Bowl. That's all the talk. Ran into one of the Citrus Bowl reps at the game. They were happy. They were all smiles. They were the only people other than the Buckeyes smiling. Right. I mean, they were cheesing at the game, walking down the corridors like, yes. Citrus Bowl people were happy fans. I mean, man, they were happy. So I expect that Michigan will be in the Citrus Bowl coming up. I guess it's on the 31st, not even the first.
Well, I heard a rumor they might be playing Texas.
It could be.
I mean, Sark is begging everybody to get into the college football playoff, but when I get sick and tired of, we hadn't played Ohio State. Well, you're not getting in because you lost to a bad Florida team. Do what you're supposed to do. You there. I mean, I'm sick and tired of people making excuses. Hey, Sam, I have 2 rings. Got 2 national championship rings. You make no excuses. Do what you're supposed to do, and you get there. You didn't. You had an opportunity, and you didn't get it done. It's just that simple. And people in Texas get pissed at me about telling the truth. Quit crying. Going on the football field, you don't have to worry about it.
People in Texas still be giving you a hard time, man.
Of course they do, but hey, it don't mean nothing to me. I live in Colorado, Sam. It means absolutely nothing to me.
They don't know you by now, Vance.
They don't. I had one person, they didn't know I went to the University of Texas one time. Well, why does he love Michigan so much? I said, because they let me do a podcast. At the Texas, they don't. If I didn't play for Mac Brown, they don't care about you.
That's too bad. That's too bad. Hey, we love you back.
I appreciate it. I love all my fans. Go Blue all the time, baby.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, hey, we'll be seeing y'all after the bowl is announced and we get ready to do the bowl preview and breakdown. That's when we'll be back on the next edition. Until then, you guys be safe. Enjoy some Michigan basketball. They're giving you a lot to cheer about and look forward to. We'll be back with Dropping Dimes, of course. Look for the I think we're going to be doing if we get enough guests lined up, so stay tuned for this, we will be doing a live signing day show. So we're trying to get enough guys committed. They all have their own signing day ceremonies. So if we get enough live guests, though, we will do a live signing day episode of the Recruiting Insider, which is coming back because I just signed, because, Steve was with CBS, and, CBS has their, CBS was recently sold, and they had a bunch of reorganization from the top down at the network level all the way down. And so in that, there were some changes at 24/7. So I recently hired Steve Lorenz to my company. And so Steve is now an employee of mine over at the Michigan Insider. So we kept the family together. And that was part of the site reorganization. And we will be now that is done, we'll be bringing the Recruiting Insider back. So that show is coming back tomorrow as part of the signing day festivities over on the Michigan Insider. So be looking forward to that. And if we can get enough of the class, the signees together, we will be doing a live signing day show as well as the Recruiting Insider. So be on the lookout for that. At any rate, folks, thanks for watching another edition of the Michigan Football Breakdown, focused on the defense with Vance Bedford. We'll see you next time.
Go Blue.